Let me be crystal clear to the people of Alabama. The threat of this disease continues to be active, and it is deadly.
Breaking news as we come on the air this noon. Governor Kay Ivey has amended the Safer at Home order for Alabama, and here's what you need to know right now. Starting Monday, May 11th, salons and barbershops can reopen with restrictions. And this is a big one. Restaurants, bars, and breweries can reopen with 50% occupancy, and diners must maintain distance from others. The Department of Public Health is urging churches to exercise caution when reopening, and also gyms and other athletic facilities will be allowed to reopen with social distancing guidelines in place. So what stays the same in all of this? The restrictions remain in effect through May 22nd. Schools remain closed for in-person instruction, and then you have entertainment venues like movie theaters and bowling alleys. Those are going to be remaining closed as well. Retail stores still have to operate with 50% capacity. And despite these loosening restrictions, the governor is still urging people to stay at home. We have an entire list of what's opening and what's not over on our website, mynbc15.com. And despite the governor relaxing some restrictions in the state, the number of coronavirus cases continue to climb. Alabama topped 9,000 cases, and at least 374 have died from COVID-19. Here in Mobile County, there are now more than 1,300 people infected, and 80 people have died. Across the Bayway, in Baldwin County, there are 206 infections and 5 deaths. Jefferson County is trailing Mobile County in coronavirus cases. There are 1,073 confirmed cases there and 57 deaths. As Alabama begins to reopen, a UAB doctor and COVID-19 survivor has a stark warning. Now is not the time to relax stay-at-home orders.
We should keep the stay-at-home orders in place and buy time. The virus doesn't care what our political stripes are. It doesn't care whether we're at a restaurant or whether we're at a social gathering. It just wants to infect people.
Dr. Sag is saying that it is crucial to continue social distancing practices, and he believes the coronavirus will last through the summer. People. Birmingham's mayor agrees, stressing our state is not ready to reopen and putting Alabamians in harm's way in choosing the economic crisis over the health crisis is dangerous.
I think it's really, really important as elected officials. We do less talking and more listening to the health experts, but also important is not to base our decisions on dates, but more so on data.
Just last week, the city of Birmingham made it mandatory for everyone to wear a mask or face covering while in public. Here in Mobile County, a mask resolution is in place, strongly urging people to wear a mask at businesses around town. And it is not an ordinance, just a recommendation. We'll have much more on this pandemic in just a couple of minutes. But first, we're covering some breaking news right now. A Baldwin County high school is pulling from the pros to find their new football coach. NFL quarterback Philip Rivers has been named the head coach at St. Michael Catholic High School. NBC's Colin Cahill is live in Fairhope with more. Colin.
That's right, Jamie. Just a few hours ago, St. Michael principal Faustin Weber named Philip Rivers as the Cardinals' future head coach. Now, for the past several years now, Rivers has hosted QB camps where his family and himself fell in love with the area and the school's vision. Now, for the past 17 years, Rivers has been an NFL quarterback playing for the Indianapolis Colts, and then this year, the last 16 years, with the San Diego and Los Angeles Chargers organization. Now, the Alabama native is looking to accomplish his life's second dream, which is to be a head high school football coach.
I've been able to, I've lived my childhood dream. I've had 2 childhood dreams. And one was to play in the NFL, and I've been able to do that now going on my 17th season and still love that and excited to carry on that dream. And the other is to be a high school football coach, as my dad did. So it's an exciting day. I mean, it really is. I'm going, wow, how blessed am I to be able to live both of those out. And one on the tail end and one in the beginning stages.
Now, Rivers said that he and his family will take it 1 year at a time as to when he hangs up his cleats and picks up his head coaching cap. But for the time being, athletic director Paul Knapstein will take the reins for this young football program for this upcoming season. We will have much more on this story tonight at 5 and 6. But for now, live in Baldwin County, Colin Cahill, NBC 15 News.
All right, thank you, Colin. Breaking news this noon, unemployment in the United States is now at Great Depression level. The Labor Department reports the economy slashed more than 20 million jobs in April. That sent unemployment rates skyrocketing to 14.7%. And a live look right now at the Dow Jones. It soared 300 points this morning after the worst jobs report that's ever been released. Right now, Wall Street is looking forward to better days ahead, hardly shocked by those April numbers. Investors say that the stock market is not the economy, so a good future is indeed ahead. The new jobs report paints a dire picture of the country's workforce. NBC's Tracy Potts has the latest.
20.5 million jobs lost in 1 month, 10 times the previous record. The nation's unemployment rate now at 14.7%. It tripled in 1 month, wiping out every job created since the Great Recession of 2009.
It's fully expected. There's no surprise. Everybody knows that. Somebody said, oh, look at this. Well, even the Democrats aren't blaming me for that. But what I can do is I'll bring it back.
Congress has yet to take up a second economic stimulus, with members still scattered across the country. Republicans worry about spending another $2 trillion.
We've got to understand somebody's going to pay that. Our kids, our grandkids.
I think it would be penny foolish to say, I'm sorry, we can't do SNAP to give you food because there's a national debt.
The real impact being felt by millions of jobless Americans.
My savings is completely dried out.
And new health concerns at the White House. A valet who serves President Trump's meals has tested positive for coronavirus.
I've had very little personal contact with this gentleman. Know who he is, good person, but I've had very little contact.
The president says he was tested 2 days in a row and is virus-free. In that interview this morning, President Trump said White House employees will now wear masks. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
And just into our newsroom, a staffer for Vice President Mike Pence has tested positive for COVID-19, and this is coming a day after President Trump's valet tested positive. And tomorrow, feeding the Gulf Coast, the Central Flora-Bama Church and the Flora-Bama itself, they're going to be teaming up for what they're calling the largest food distribution event on the Gulf Coast. It will be from 8 to 11 tomorrow morning in the Flora-Bama parking lot, right on the state line. They will be giving out fresh produce, milk, cheese, eggs, meat, canned goods, and much more. You can stay with us as we continue to keep you informed during the coronavirus pandemic. You can follow all of our NBC 15 News social media pages, where you can find all of the information along with checking out our website, mynbc15.com. Right now, crews are working around the clock to put out the 5-mile swamp fire in Santa Rosa County. It's burned more than 2,000 acres. At this hour, the fire is 35% contained, and the I-10 in Santa Rosa County is now open in both directions. Now to our weather. If you're planning to go outside today, you want to be aware of possible thunderstorms this afternoon. We're going to toss things over to meteorologist Kyle Hansen. He has the Gulf Coast certified most accurate forecast by Weather 8. Kyle, it was a little chilly this morning, cooler today, but I'm sure all of that's going to get rainy as we go throughout the afternoon, right?
Yeah, we were unseasonably cool to start the day today. We've warmed up pretty close to average for May, but now we have some rain to contend with this afternoon. We have a few showers now moving into northwestern Clark County and northern Washington County. You can see the intensity starts to pick up a bit in the yellows here as you head into Wayne County, Mississippi. This is going to be the theme, the intensity of the rain increasing for Washington and Clark counties over the next hour or two. I don't expect severe weather, though, in the near future. Our potential comes later in the afternoon, and even at that, it's a fairly low risk because it appears that the strongest line of these storms, which is right now in southwestern Mississippi, is going to pass to our west, mainly impacting southeastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. For us, I think mainly it's general showers and thunderstorms. We do still have a marginal 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. You can see here in the dark green, but generally that just means a stray severe thunderstorm possible. It looks most likely that it stays to our west. So something we're tracking this afternoon and something that you need to still be aware of later on today. Make sure you have a way to get alerts to your phones for, say, severe thunderstorm warnings. You can download the WPMI weather app and also have a NOAA weather radio. The two recommendations I have for you. Otherwise, temperatures fairly seasonable, mid to upper 70s for most of us, just below normal for this time of year. I'll show you how much will cool down behind those showers and storms tonight, coming up in about 10 minutes or so.
All right, thanks, Kyle. You can get ahead of the next weather maker right now by downloading the NBC 15 weather app. It's the best way to be weather aware, and with it you can watch our latest forecast. You can check a live radar and get instant alerts whenever disruptive weather threatens our area. Make sure to look for it in the App Store and on Google Play. NBC 15 bringing you additional news, weather, and sports, all convenient as looking at the bottom of your screen. It is our way of keeping you informed as you watch our show. You can see all of your local and national headlines, your community's forecast, along with sports and stocks right at the side and bottom of your screen. Still to come, pandemic baby boom. Several Americans wondering if staying at home will cause more babies to be born. And duo arrested, father and son, both of them charged with felony murder in the shooting death of a black man running in Georgia. We'll have the latest after the break.